you spend enough time and meet enough people and get into enough rooms, you realize that a system can consistently hurt people without ever intending to do so. And I think that's where the NCAA is currently sitting at, is right. It's like they make certain decisions and they do certain things where it may alienate this group, it may boost up this group, and you think about the people who work for an NCAA or some type of organization that is governing over multiple decisions, multiple environments, and all they're doing is they're following their procedures, they're following their protocols, and the outside world can say that their protocols is nonsense, or they can disagree with their protocols or their bylaws and whatever it is, but you you can't realistically think that a system wakes up and intentionally tries to mess over or hurt everybody, right? Somebody is going to get the short end of the stick, and I think that's one thing that you have to accept when you're building out your plans and you're doing all of your frameworks and you're establishing your decisions. You have to know that whatever decision you make, whatever decisions you choose, you're going to alienate some people, you're going to hurt some people, and you're going to put your subordinates and others in a position to also hurt people, because all they're doing is just following the instructions, they're following the protocols, and they're following what that organizational rules are set out to do. And when I started to look at how organizations operate and how businesses flow, and especially like when you're in this new recruiting and revenue share and contract space, you know that there are so many hard decisions that have to be made that somebody's going to get the short end of the other stick, and somebody's going to not like it and want to come after you or fight for their opportunities and whatnot. And you don't really see the multitude of hurtful decisions that are made unintentionally. And I think that's a scary space to be in, but somebody has to be even killed. Somebody has to be in the organization who understands this is not personal. We just have to execute it. Somebody has to be the bad guy. Someone has to be the face of the organization that is okay with taking arrows. And I think a lot of my work has always been go out there first, see what it's like, take the lumps, take the bumps and bruises and whatnot, and come back and say this is what it looks like. And because of that, we've we've ingrained that into our methodology. We've ingrained that into how we operate. Is that you have to have someone, you have to have something, a system, a program, a partner that is okay with delivering the bad news, okay with following the protocol that may not be beneficial to everybody. Because you have to realize in real life, equitable aspects and fairness isn't always one and the same. And to be fair, you have to say, okay, I'm looking at everybody, objectively. I'm looking at this situation across the board in black and white, and these are the decisions that we have to make based on the protocols and the rules that were set forth in that space. And what I've realized is that I don't necessarily like enjoy it, but because I've accepted it a long time ago, I'm okay with being in that chair where you're the one who's delivering the information, right? But you also have to have the information to deliver. You can't go to war with like half a armor on, right? You can't go out to the battlefield and you ain't got the right weapons. You can't show up to a fight and you don't have everything. So when I sit down with organizations and I walk them through how things need to work and how they should look, I want them to be honest with me. Give me all of the facts, all of the all the people who are involved, all of the wild thoughts that you guys had to work through, because in order for a sound decision to be processed, delivered, and governed, everybody has to be on the same page. And you can't expect the person who holds that position of governance, or that person who holds that position of enterprise governance to assist your organization if they don't have all the tools and all the information, all the knowledge needed. So when you sit back and you think about how the world works or how decisions are made, everybody in that room has to be okay with knowing that the decision that we're about to make, it won't serve everybody. Some people are going to get left out. Some people are going to get the short end of the stick, and then some people are going to fit right up in that box. And it's just part of how this thing works. But if you understand what it is, and then you delegate and you authorize a specific person or process that's going to deliver that, you can, if you're not one of the people who like confrontation or things of that nature, you can be easily blameless. But you have to know that there's going to be decisions that are going to be made that everybody's not going to accept, everybody's not going to be cool with, but it has to get done for the betterment of the organization. And then the person or the group or the organization who's delivering that and governing that and making sure that it's executed properly, they're going to have to follow it to a T. But it can't be done when there's like side deals or entitlements that happens. Because one thing that I really despise, and I've always seen it, and I see it even more prevalent now, is that the person who isn't comfortable with the tough decisions, when they get around the client or the customer or the athlete who it actually impacts, and their question or challenged, they'll try to be the good guy and they'll say, "Oh, I'll figure it out," or I'll see what I can do." And I've learned that when you say things like "I'll see what I can do," "I'll let you know," you're setting yourself up for failure, and you're setting a unrealistic expectation, because in the client's mind, in the customer's mind, and especially in the athlete's mind, that line means yes. That line means we're gonna get it done. And it's the craziest thing, because if you just follow the protocol and just say, "Nah, we can't do it," or "Yes, this is what we're doing," and whether or not the person across from you is impacted on a negative side or a positive side, you can't weigh on either side. Everybody can't be the good guy, and everybody can't be the friend. So I think you have to understand that an organization can make decisions that's going to hurt people, and they can make those decisions that's not intentionally trying to hurt certain people. That's one thing that we have to get across, and we're okay with holding that seat.